your P&L, yeah, whip it out. Let's see the P&L, whip it out, whip it out. Look at the curve, let's see that bank account, show me that account. Let's see the P&L too, yeah, show that thing. Let's see your bank account, yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. What's your mom's maiden name? Yeah, let's hear it. Let's see your birth certificate too. Yeah, whip it out. Let's see that P&L. Oh yeah. Nice curve.
That's funny.
Show me your P&L. Whip it out. Show your P&L. Yeah, whip it out.
Welcome back, guys.
Let's see the P&L. Whip it out. Whip it out. Look at the curve. Let's see the bank account. Show me that account. Let's see that P&L too. Yeah, show that thing. Let's see your bank account. Yeah. Oh yeah. Nice curve.
I went to the bathroom half whipped. Oh yeah, whip that shit out, baby. Look at the curve.
Oh yeah. Show me your P&L, whip it out. Show your P&L, yeah, whip it out. Let's see the P&L, whip it out. Whip it out. Let's see that bank account. Show me that account. Let's see that P&L too. Yeah, show that thing. Let's see your bank account. Yeah. Oh yeah.
How's Spy looking? Spy still has a little bit of room to go.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's see your birth certificate too. Yeah, whip it out. Let's see that P&L. Oh yeah. Nice curve.
Welcome back to the stream, you guys. See that P&L, whip it out. Whip it out. You're actually dancing? That's actually a pretty good jam. I do like that one a lot. And you guys came out with some great ones. All right. Some of them are just so funny. I haven't even listened to all of them yet. I'm taking a risk by playing Mike's songs without listening to them first. Famous last words before the stream gets banned.
Map with time by day, trades ticks by night. Crutches numbers tighter than his pants are tight. With a dog named Pickle and a juice so green, he's living that life somewhere between. He's in finance, but don't be deceived. He's scalping futures like you wouldn't believe.
That is true. That's really funny. When people ask me what I do for a living, I never say I'm a trader. Depends on where I am. I usually tell people I usually tell people I work in finance or that I run a tech company. Depends on who I'm with. If I'm with like other entrepreneurs or business owners, I say I run a tech company because I do. In general speaking, if I'm like in a wedding or something, people are like, hey, so what do you do? I'm like, I work in finance. Are these AI songs? No, dude. I wrote them myself and I sung and played them. That's my voice. Ready? I'm just kidding. They're AI songs. Nasdaq Gap Actionable Insight. Yep. You feel like a scammer when you tell people you trade stocks, right? Even sounds dirty. But usually you tell people you trade stocks, usually always prompts a question. Everybody's like, oh, I'm a trader too. I got Robinhood. And you're just like, so like, what do you think about Tesla? And you're like, oh God, it's like no other career field gets pegged for information from every single person you ever come across. Though some of you are a trader, they always want information from you. They want to talk about it. They want to show you their Bitcoin. I don't know. No one else gets this. So you just say you work in finance. Usually it just ends the conversation. Nobody wants to talk to finance. It sounds boring. I'm cool with that. Garrett says neat. Oh, you're a trader? Yeah, my brother's a trader. My little brother's a trader. Yeah, he's in high school. And you're just like, yeah, we're definitely the same. We do the same thing for a living. I think people think that because the barrier of entry is so low to get into trading, that it automatically makes you a trader. So I just say I work in finance. They always want to know which stocks to buy. Or yeah, do you think Bitcoin's going up? I always just say up, because I assume that most people aren't shorting markets. So anytime somebody asks me something, I just say it's going up. That way that's the confirmation bias they're looking for. Yes. Hey, thank you. If you tell people like you think it's going to crash and it's coming down, then all of a sudden you're no longer friends with them. They're going to be mad at you at the party. Let me see. Is there anything still on there? I got to pick that. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're like, what do you, so you have a 50-50 shot of pissing off everybody at a party. When they say, oh, you're a trader. Yeah. So what do you think about Bitcoin? I go, well, actually, I think it's too early to invest in Bitcoin because Bitcoin doesn't have enough utility to go up really high. And then people are like, man, fuck this guy. Like, why'd you bring him to the wedding? This guy sucks.
No, every time I bring you anywhere, you always pose as a super boring person. And I'm like trying to tell everyone how amazing and cool you are. But you're so nonchalant all the time. You're like, yeah, I work in finance.
Yeah.
You remember you went to the spa and some guy was like, hey, what do you do? And you're like, finance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, what? No, you do more than that.
Believe it or not, I'm like the least braggy person in real life. I know a lot of people are like, yo, I'm a trader, bro. Check out my Lambo. I'm just like, I don't want people talking to me about it.
You make me look bad.
She brags me up, then I talk myself down.
Like I come in and they're like, what does your guy do? And he's like, finance. And I'm like, no.
Looking for a guy in finance.
He like, he trades, he runs a business, he's a cool dad, and then a dog dad.
Yeah.
You know.
Does he work in finance? He's 6'5", trust fund, or no? Is that the hell the meme
There's
guess?
no blue eyes here.
Blue eyes.
But he's really cool.
Yeah.
His story is awesome. He was an engineer. Like, there's just so much to talk about when it comes to you.
Yeah.
But you're like, yeah, I'm just in finance. Like, no big deal. I
like listening to other people's stories when I meet people instead of bragging about myself. I feel like people are very interesting when you give them a chance. Yeah, remember I told you that long bus ride I took. I talked to so many strangers, like on a bus. And I learn about everybody's life, and people are so interesting when you listen to them. I feel like if I talk about, and I'll be honest, I feel like if I talk about myself, it would overshadow everyone's conversations because they'll be like, oh man, well, my life sucks because your life sounds awesome. And then they don't want to talk, and then they're just intimidated.
Soft flex.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, well, if you say like Mav's an engineer and started a business, does all this stuff, it sounds cool. And then people are like, oh, well, dude, I just work at Chevron, whatever. And then like people don't want to explore it. But if you let people tell you their story, and you listen to it, they're so eager to talk about themselves, and then they ask you what you do. Just say, I was working in finance. I own a business, whatever. And if you play it off, people are like more engaged with you. I feel like if you beat someone over the head with how cool you think you are, then you're like the least liked person at the party, I feel.
Let's talk about me. Everybody will feel more confident about themselves.
I let you brag about me. That's kind of nice.
Oh, that's the tactic, right?
Yeah.
Let the wifey brag
yeah.
about you.
Yeah. I dock everybody. It's one of your mods from My Fun and TV. Thank you for the green juice, by the way. Huh?
Oh, I'm me. Talking about me.
There you go. That's you. How was the park?
It was good. I only went for a little bit. I had to come home and take care of you.
Thank you.
I was worried about you.
Thank you.
Want to go later?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, we'll go later.
Yeah.
So right. The moment. Oh, Pickle, you want me to say hi? Oh, he just wanted me to say hi real quick. Hey, buddy. All right, you gotta go with your mama though. Okay. Yep.
Say hi.
Oh, all right, good boy. Pick you up for a second. Okay, just for a second. That way you can bite my face.
There you go.
Bite my face like you do, and then growl at me so I put you down. You do this every day.
Show the audience.
You do this every day. He wants me to pick him up, then he bites my face. You don't just lick. You like bite for some reason. And then you want me to put you down. Then he'll start growling. Watch. Ooh. Okay. And then he runs away. It's like a routine. Go. 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 Go.
What if I pretend to close the door?
Right. Watch. 5 seconds, he's gonna go over to the door. Watch. He's gonna paw at it. It's routine, man. Routine. That's Pickle, our dog. Right. So yeah, if you tell people you're like, hey, I'm in, you know, when they say, what do you think about this as a trader? Here's a piece of advice. Just be like, you know, I don't know anything. That's not investment advice, but I agree with you. Just agree with everybody. That's all you have to say. If they're like, what do you think about this? I always say, oh yeah, it looks good. It's going up. Because then people are like, see, I knew it. Because nobody's out there like, very rarely you're going to run into somebody at a wedding that's like, oh, bro, I'm like shorting all these stocks. I think it's going to crash. People are like, you don't want to be like the person that nobody likes because you tell them, oh yeah, I think your investment sucks. Sorry. That's the last thing they're going to be, well, fuck this guy. So what kind of car do I drive? I have a Maserati. So. You guys are saying, I'll read your. If you're in tech support, you're going to the person for tech issues. Oh, that's also true. Yeah. I'm sure tech support gets a lot of, like every time you have computer problems. Oh, I have my buddies in IT. Let's call him. He'll know what to do. Or they think you're a degenerate gambler. Yeah. If you say you're a trader, people will be like, oh God, this guy's like a degen. Whip it out. Hi, Doc. LOL. Just say to the moon and leave it at that. Yeah, exactly. How do you think Bitcoin's gonna do this year? Bro, to the moon. And they'll be like, oh, dude, yeah, that's awesome. I knew it. And then you got friends, right? If you give them the actually speech, then you're definitely gonna be like the least liked person. It turns into a stock tip conversation every time. Yeah. Everybody thinks you're the Wolf of Wall Street, maybe with friends and family, but definitely not strangers. You have a higher probability of just saying everything's gonna go up because you're usually gonna be right most of the time. When he says, what do you think about even IDOC's dad last night was asking, he's like, what do you think about, you know, Israel and the war having any effect on the market? And I was like, I think the market's still going to go up, even though like we talk in depth because he's a businessman and everything. So we actually have good conversations. He's not just like an average amateur person plugging for stock ticks. We have like deep conversations about markets and stuff. He's a very smart guy. And so he's like, what do you think about it? And then we're having like a, you know, an intellectual conversation that's different. But like, usually if somebody out there asks me, do I think it's going to do anything? I'm always like, market's probably still going to go up. It's usually a safe bet. And it usually agrees with most people's position. And therefore, mathematically, you'll make the most friends that way and make the least amount of enemies that way. And you won't be the weird person at the party that's just like, eh. I was the weird person at the Bitcoin conference because at the time I didn't think Bitcoin was worth anything. And I went anyways. And everybody's like, so how much Bitcoin do you have? And I'm like, I'm here just the network. At the time when I went to the conference a long time ago. When I tell people I either say I work in finance, just because I want to hear their story. Like when people tell them what they do, and I want to sound like the boring one. So somebody's like, oh yeah, I do this, I do that, I do this. And like, what about you? I was like, oh, I just work in finance. They're usually like, oh, cool, that's cool, man. Yeah, it's fun, it's boring. Like, yeah, it sounds like it. And then that's it. And I downplay it. Or if I'm with like other entrepreneurs and I'm trying to like, you know, the reality of it is I run 2 tech companies. I run a tech company, which I technically run a tech company, which is the real answer. What kind of tech company? Oh, well, we made an app for traders. Oh, that's cool. And then they usually go, oh, my buddy's a trader. So are you a trader? Then I'm like, oh, crap. I said it. But yeah. It's probably ES hitting all-time highs before it close. Today, for ES to go, what is this? I would think that today's upper limit at DD band 57, 20 points is not too unheard of. Before close is very possible. Very possibly end up here. I think so. You're a finance bro. Very nice. Very nice, Raphael. How do QQQ stocks help with day trading NQ? So I use QQQ, or the algorithm uses QQQ to find high volume pivots. And it's not like I'm using it. I'm using evidence of its options to be evidence of market structure. The options will show me where structure is, and that structure is mirrored throughout all of NASDAQ's products, QQQ, NASDAQ futures, whatever, through the stocks, everything. So if QQQ is telling me that I've got long pressure from this orange line, and this orange line is long pressure, then I can also mirror that same behavior in futures as I'm using that to trade along with the flow in futures, right? And that's what I'm using it for. No pullback today? Probably not, because I think with the volatility the way that it is, we are solidifying a nice bullish close into month. Now VIX is not coming down, which is interesting to see. that the market could maybe sell off by the end of the day. It's very possible. There is no volatility decline. We need to see that VIX coming down. It's still looking a little volatile into expiration, which is kind of interesting to see. Get something over here. There we go. VIX is going up. Even though VIX is going up, it doesn't mean market's going to come down. So just be careful. You wish to whistle at the same time? I randomly find myself whistling all the time for some reason. I don't even know. That's so funny. We're whistling brothers, Dip. We're whistling bros. Oh, Chris, what were you saying about the irrational rules? Let me read your comment, bud. I missed it. Earlier, you were talking about the irrational alert levels. Oh, okay. So what these are just alerting you that certain things have happened. So on QQQ MHP break, what that actually means is that, let's let up the watch list and go to QQ. What this actually means is that there's certain we have a class on this. In that class, it goes over what some of these things are. They're just rules for caution. They're overall like alerts for caution. If you break monthly hedge pressure, the market can become very chaotic and very random and also crash out. And so it's a warning sign to let you know that it's either broken or has broken before. If QQQ is below this level, we know it can create a big squeeze. If it actively is below the level, the light would be red with the down arrow indicating below or above. So if it's red, then it's broken. If it's green, it hasn't broken yet. If it's yellow, it broke and then got back to normal. So yellow is like caution. QQQ kind of breached it for a minute. Right? SPY is an example. Never broke monthly hedge pressure, therefore its light is green. So this shows you for the day if any of these conditions have triggered. Just as a general check in one place. Chris, hopefully it makes sense. A general in one place of seeing everything in one spot, just so you can kind of say, oh, you know, crap, we've got a index divergence or we got a DD band break or whatever. It'll show you right on the spot what's going on. Yeah. Summary statistics. Yeah, just like a little summary there. And also as a decision maker, right? Because if the DD bands have broken, it's small trade only. If MHP is broken, it's small trade only. So no matter what. So say that I'm trading S&P and S&P is falling to a pivot and I can see, oh, QQQ is broken MHP, so it's irrational. Okay, let me just trade my S&P small then. Because Nasdaq is alerting irrational selling. Hopefully that makes sense. So as position sizing guidelines are all around the platform, my confluence indicators are up here. My alerts for automatic sit out or automatic small are over here. Then my position sizing plan is right here. So I get all my information essentially like right here in this little corner. That way I'm not fumbling with a lot of charts. It makes it really easy for me to make a decision. Oh, liquidity map. Oh, 1B. Okay, 1B I'll hit with a medium. Okay. Oh, wait, we have a hedge break. Okay, let me make it small. Boom. Pretty quick. News came out that Trump's hand is bruised from too many handshakes. Is that real? Somebody says, so I'm not a crypto bro. I'm sure crypto is probably the best investment in the world. I'm just not a crypto bro yet. There'll be a time and a place where crypto is the right time to get in. I even think now is the wrong time to get in. Not that it's too high. It's that I don't think the real potential is realized just yet. I feel like in 30 years, I'm going to want to be in a big crypto bet at the top then. But we could still be 5 or 10 years early from the real rally. Like I always think crypto is the equivalent of, this is 1994 and you're betting on the internet, you know, and you bought Microsoft or Amazon. Well, you know, 1994 to 2000 and then 2008. And then finally 2015, 2020, 2025 are up here. And crypto is probably like right there. There'll be a time and a place where it's the thing to do, but I don't want to lock up my money from 94 to 2014. You know what I mean? Waiting for it to happen. I think when there's massive widespread utility, it'll be the perfect timing to be in on it. And so for me, I'm not in the mode of, you know, I feel like crypto is maybe 1/100th of what it can be. And how long until we get that big wave of utilities? We'll know, right, when regulation changes and all companies are using different parts of it. And, you know, it's everywhere. And then I'll be in on it. Somebody said hand jobs. Oh, is that what you said? Trump's hand is bruised from all the hand jobs. I misread that. That's funny. You drive a Hyundai Accent with rust enhancements, cost you extra. You can rust your car for free. Just throw water on it. How do we know the exact date when a new boot camp class will start? Normally, what we do is we finish the boot camp, which we will probably finish by the end of next week. And we usually take 2 weeks off so I can relax and get my voice back. And so probably the second week of August is when we'll start. So maybe the 11th. Target the 11th. And guys, I'm going to finally drop. I did earlier on my stream. I'm going to give you guys the hint. Fun to next. Tomorrow morning, 30% off and no DLL. The no DLL sale is back. This is the biggest, best prop account in the history of prop accounts. You don't get uncapped payouts and no DLL combinations anywhere ever. And every once in a while, Fun and Next will drop a sweet one. And this time they've dropped a sweet one. Tomorrow at 8:30 and it lasts for a week. I've been hinting at it all week, teasing you guys. Use our code and it'll make it 30% off. Let me go ahead and make the little graphic for it. They've revamped their program to now you can micro scalp at least 40% of your trades or less, or sorry, 60% of your trades or more have to be non-micro scalping. Which is great because what that means is, you know, they changed that rule and then they got rid of the annoying KYC thing where it's hard to get funded. Not get funded. It's annoying to get funded. Once you get funded, they make you go through like an interview process. They got rid of all of that, according to them. They made it easier to get your funded account quickly. And now it's effortless. Now they fixed everything we asked them to fix. So tomorrow is that. And I'm not gonna tell you the cool thing with My Funded yet, but again, My Funded's got some cool stuff coming out too. It's an eval or straight to funded. It's 30% off, no monthly fee, no activation fee. It's a one and done, which means you can buy it and sit on it, you know, and not have to pay anymore. And how long is considered micro scalping? I think it's 10 seconds, 5 or 10 seconds, something like that. You're expecting 90% off, 20 accounts, no consistency, and uncapped payouts. So it's 30% off, no DLL, and uncapped payout and no payout split. You keep everything. It's the pathway to $1 million payout. If you're the kind of grand slam hitter, you can't do that with any other firm that has payout caps or payout windows. No windows, no caps, and every once in a while to steal market share, they'll drop this crazy sale, which you can't, like a prop firm can't survive. No DLL, which means infinite scalability and uncapped payouts. No live program either. It's just straight sim payouts. It's clearly a market share grab, but whatever. I'm failing my accounts on purpose to make room to buy them. That's why I'm blowing up my Fund and X on purpose. 40% consistency. Yeah. Is it 20 seconds? Oh, 20. Okay. Micro scalping is getting in and getting out within like 20 seconds. Yeah. Sales for about a week. Yeah. I know, Michael. It'd be great, dude. If we got 90% off, bro. Oh my God, that'd be so cool. Consistency is 40%, which is better than most end of the day drawdown accounts that have consistency. By comparison, like Tradeify Growth is 35%, they're 40. My Funded Expert doesn't have consistency. However, they have cap payouts. So it's kind of like they're my two favorite end of the day drawdown accounts. They're both best in class. But when they have the rare occasion that they pull the DLL rule off of new accounts only, not resets, only new accounts, then you have big scalability. Like I buy those accounts and I babysit them for the chance to build a big buffer and get a huge payout in one swoop. No windows, trade your 5 days, and you take out half of what you've made in a lump sum. That's it. As long as you made $500, after 5 days, you can take half of what you made. And there's no gimmick to it. They very well. I've got 3 payouts with them the first month I was doing it. Every time they have the sale, I load on as much as I can get. I can get the 100Ks because they give me more fat to play with. I want the biggest scalability I can get. Cost to drawdown ratio is better on the 50K, so you get slightly more drawdown for the cost on the 50K, but the 100K is definitely not that bad. 3 days, 3 days to go funded, and then 5 days to pay out. Yeah, it's eval. It's not straight to funded. Is an eval. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Oops. What the heck? So tomorrow morning that goes live. You can have up to 300,000 total accounts. So either 1225s, 650s, or 3100s. Yeah. With those guys, the 50K and the 100K are good. It just depends on one of them gives you a little bit bigger buffer. And it's tomorrow. Tomorrow market opens, so it's not starting until tomorrow. And every once in a while, they'll have this really, really killer sale. Other than that, I use, my funded futures, and their expert account is like the best end of the day drawdown in the business. You don't get much better than that. But funded next is a close second place. But when they have the no DLL plan, which is only on the sale, it's incredible. So again, when I tell people that what I call the triumvirate, you have basically 3 things that prop firms have, and no prop firm will have at least 1 or 2 of each of these rules. You're either going to have consistency rule. You're either going to have payout cap, right? Cap, or you're going to have some kind of daily loss limit, okay? And most firms, like an example, Tradeify's growth account has all 3 of these rules. My funded futures has no consistency and no DLL. That's why they're the best. They don't have 2 of the 3 rules that we don't like. Funded next only has no payout cap. They usually have consistency and DLL, which makes it not as good as my funded futures. But when they get rid of the DLL, no payout cap, this combination no firm has because it's not sustainable. So when they have that sale, it not only becomes better than MFF for a temporary hot minute, it's the best prop account that exists, period, because nobody gives you infinite scalability. DLL is your scalability. How much you can lose is about how much you can make. Imagine a 1-to-1 trade. Here, you can only make 1,200 a day on a 1-to-1 trade. You're making like 1 to 2,000 a day on the R&R you're taking. Once you get rid of the DLL, then you're limited to your max loss limit. And the thing is that for the fee, the max loss limit here, you only get $500 extra for a lot extra fee. It's not really that worth it during the sale to get the 100K. The 50K is the one that's the ace. So when I did the math earlier, the 50K on cost to drawdown ratio after we get 30% off is massive. So this becomes like 170 bucks after that. For an extra, 140 after the sale, you only get $500 of extra fat. So, to each their own if you want to pay for that extra fat. These are one and done accounts. After the sale, the no DLL thing lasts forever in the life of the account, but once you fail it, you can't reset with it. So it's like you get one shot to swing a grand slam, or as many shots as you want during the sale. So everybody here kind of jumps in on it because it's kind of fun. Handful of us in the community are like, oh, I got my $20,000 and $50,000 payout, and then they were the lucky one that made it to the end. Whereas most of your other firms like Tradeify, Straight to Funded, and others, they're capping your payouts at a certain frequency. No monthly fee. The thing is, there's no monthly fee, no activation fee, no payout splits. So you keep 100%. It's not like it's a 90-10. You get no profit split with them, no payout windows. It's cut and dry. 3 days to pass, 5 days to get profit. Make $500. You get half of what you've made in a lump sum. After 30 days, you can take all of it, and then you're done. So for, a couple $100, there's your shot at a no DLL infinite scalability plan that no firm has, and they can't have it sustainable. And they're doing it as a gimmick for market share, clearly. And it's cool because it benefits us, but I don't really push prop firms that hard until I know the deal's there. And I'll tell you guys, no DLL is infinite scalability, but then you usually bump into a payout window or payout cap. And then you can make so much. Like with my Tradeify, I'm up almost $200,000, but I can only take out little bits of that. Imagine being up $200,000 in a funded next type account that I could take out all of it, right? Yeah, as Michael said, DLL sucks because you can't scale. As Michael really smartly sees, is DLL is what limits your scalability, 100%. So DLL limits how fast you can grow. Isn't having the DLL a good thing? The answer is it's not from your perspective. It helps you not blow up. But from your perspective, if you're really good at trading, you can't scale it very quickly. You're just inching along. So whenever they don't have the sale, I buy experts at My Funded Futures all day long because it's the best account out there. No consistency, no DLL. It's perfect for end of the day drawdowns. But when you have the no payout cap, no DLL, it's better. It's unsustainable for a firm. If they offer that full time, traders who get $1 million payouts left and right, the lucky ones, they'd bankrupt the firm. So you can't see a plan like that last forever, right? So yeah, so the thing is that with those accounts, what I do is I buy them and I babysit them. You get 5 days. So the first thing I do on day one is I hit them hard and try to YOLO into them to pass them. If I fail, I just blow up and reset it, and fail and blow up. I need to build a buffer quick. And through the sale, I get plenty of opportunities. So my first trade, I get that 40%. I get that big trade to try to get close to it. And after, 3-day window to pass. And if I don't pass, I usually get a second chance for the sale is over, which is good. Yep. If you're up 300 for the day, you can lose 900. Faba, what do you mean? Good. Cool. If you're up 300, but you can lose 900. Yeah, so DLL is just there. Prop firms give you a daily loss limit to limit your scalability. It's a protection mechanism they use to pay you less, to lower their risk. That's what DLL is really for. As most people will say, it just stops you out so you don't lose a lot. That's not what they're trying to do. A really good trader like Mike, as Mike will tell you, DLL limits your scalability, because imagine you're trading 2-to-1 trades. 2 reward for every 1 risk. Well, what is your risk? If your risk is DLL is when you're out of the trade, then that is the risk. So if your DLL was $1,250 and you normally trade 2-to-1s, you can only make $2,500 a day. You're not making tens of thousands and 20s of thousands a day because you're only trading on however many R's you're willing to take on the trade. So DLL limits your reward that you can take because your R&R is fixed, right? Oh, that combo with someone else? Oh, it's totally fine, totally fine. Totally fine. Yeah, so Futures Desk is a great example. You can get a static account, but you can't scale it because it's a really tight DLL. And tight DLLs prevent you from making hundreds of thousands of dollars of balance. See, Tradeify has a very loose DLL on its straight to funded. It was like 37.50, which was so easy to navigate through with like 2 or 3 contracts. And so before I built the buffer in these accounts, I never had DLL problems. Because it was so fat, but then Tradeify limits how much you can take out of it. So Tradeify, I've got an enormous balance. I've got $200,000 of profit in Tradeify almost right now. Well, 200,000 I've made total with active balance plus payouts. And with that sitting there, I can't take any of it out except for like a frequency of $3,000 every 7 or so days. So it's not like you can make all that money with the no DLL, but the payout cap keeps you from taking it out. With the DLL, you just can't make a lot, but the no payout cap, you can take all of it out. So each firm is just throttling essentially how much they're paying you by some clever way or another. Static is just an account that has a drawdown that's fixed, that doesn't move. Statics are really good. Yeah. So, and the trailing drawdown is not fixed. Static drawdowns are fixed. End of the day drawdowns are fixed and they move once a day. Yeah. Is it true the commission split with Tradeify is 70-30? It's 90-10 on straight to funded. I don't know what it is in growth or advance. It might be 70-30 in the other ones, but I don't trade the other ones. To be honest, Tradeify is best in class for straight to funded. I wouldn't trade anything else Tradeify offers. They're good, but it's not the best. If you want Tradeify Advanced, which is trailing drawdown, go with take profit. It's better for thousands of reasons. If you want Tradeify Growth, which is our end of the day, go My Funded Expert. It's better on every front. Tradeify is consistency, payout cap, and DLL. They have all 3 rules in their growth. It's still a great end of the day drawdown account, but it's a very weak product that they have. Straight to funded though, best in class. Tradeify straight to funded is by far the reason to trade Tradeify. Don't touch anything else Tradeify sells because there's better options out there. But straight to funded, they have like completely cornered the market with it, and it is it's my favorite program. I've been trading it all year. I love it. It's consistent money. It's not big uncapped payouts, but it's consistent and it's easy because it's consistent. It's like kind of middle of the road everything. You can have an easier time passing and an easier time getting paid, but you're not going to be making like, you know, $100,000 payouts. You're going to be making like, you know, moderate 10K every month or so, give or take. And that's totally fine without a lot of hassle. And so they're really good. That program's awesome. They have amazing rules, amazing straightforwardness. They don't deny payouts. That's why Tradeify is literally the best, if not one of the best prop firms out there. My Funded, Tradeify, these guys are top tier. But Tradeify's other 2 products just not as close to their straight to funded. That's why I tell people, if you want trailing drawdown, go with TPT. If you want end of the day drawdown, Funded Next or My Funded, that's where you go. If you want static ETF or maybe Futures Desk, but their DLL is tight. And if you want straight to funded, Tradeify, and ETF, those are the ones. Yeah. Then it's for the first 3 or 4 payouts. It's a limit on withdrawal. No, so Tradeify, it's $3,000 per payout for the first 4, and then like payouts 5 and onward is 3,500 on the 150K, and it stays at 3,500 until they move you to live. It's not uncapped. The only time you get an uncapped payout with Tradeify is if they decide to move you to live early. Then they'll give you a one-time paycheck of everything else you've made. Like if I get moved to live early right now with all my big balance there, you can make 100K total with Tradeify before you have to start over. And so I've made like 50K payouts so far, and they give you 20K of a live balance, which means 50 plus 20 is 70. So I have 30K left of the 100 that they allocate to take. If they move me to live today, Brett would cut me a $30,000 check and then a $20,000 live account. That's how that works. Look at that DD band pullback reversal. Dang. Is that higher volatility we're talking about earlier? Looking sweet. Sorry. Crazy to see a little bit of Nasdaq DD band pullback. You guys like how good our DD band targets are? How many people were long up into this and how many people closed off into that? Did y'all make a trade up to that? Did you guys short DD band? What did you guys do today? Literally the only thing better about expert is no consistency in test, but you have to make 3% more running 12K in one day. Expert, better than what? Dice. What are you comparing it to? Which prop firm is having the uncapped no DLL promotion tomorrow morning at 9:30 at market open, funded next, right above me. And our code will give you 30% off. So I've had the inside scoop of that for about a week. I've just been kind of hinting that something big is coming, and I always like to give you guys. So for y'all's budgeting needs, you would feel so bad if you went out and spent all your money at Apex this week, and then they had a big ass sale tomorrow, and then you don't have any left. So I always try to hint at something, and just trust me when I hint at something that it's going to be worth your time. So that you guys aren't out there like, oh shit, I just loaded up on some Apex. Now I can't play with the cool sale. So expert is better than starter plus. Oh, expert better than starter plus. Oh, okay. So you're comparing those two plans. Why one is better than the other. I got you. The no consistency in eval, right? Starter plus and expert are both really good for different reasons, right? Wait, helpful just hit your first 10K day, chat. Let's go. Helpful, let's go. Diana Bohannon today had her first 10K day ever. This was crazy. Watching you guys crush it is making me so happy, y'all. I'm telling you. Super excited. Helpful. 5K. Yeah. You made your first 5K day. Another one of our members made her first 10K day. I'm so proud to see you guys crushing it, man. I really am. Super cool. 13K for 10 for Ken. Dang, you guys. Oh yeah, well I made 11K in one account on accident by fat fingering longs, and then I had to lose it on purpose. So nanny boo boo. Stupid crap. You guys, I'm so proud of you. Y'all did great today. I lost 9K on stream and still came out green. So that was fun. I'm so proud of y'all, man. Some people saying it feels so good, doesn't it, to have your first big day like that? How cool is that, right? It's very cool. The feeling is just awesome. Wait, Diana, 14K total? No way. Way to go. That's cool. That's really cool. I bet you're excited. What a fun experience. Yeah, you guys post up your gains, man. Show me what you got. Throw it up in the P&L channel. Dang. Dan has been with the group for 3 years now. Yeah. Don't. So back on the question of the difference between my funded expert and my funded starter plus, right? The main differences between the two. You brought up a good point earlier. We were talking about that. When I say the end of the day drawdown, my funded futures, when I say expert, it's just best in class because it has better, easier rules. There are reasons to trade the starter plus. Let's not get you guys like not thinking the starter plus isn't that good. But can I tell you guys something? Oh, I can't tell you something yet. I know something that you don't know. I know something you don't know and I can't say it. Hold on. I need water. I'll be right back. I'll probably be able to tell y'all next week, I think. So I don't think I could spill it, but wait, who made 18K today? Eva made 18K. You guys made 18K today. Holy crap. You got me talking. Yeah, no, we just got to talking because we're trying to see like what's going on. So the difference between like starter plus and expert, right? Put them side by side. Neither one of them have daily loss limit. They're both really good. Expert's a little bit more expensive, and what do you get that's different with it, right? So starter plus has scaling rule, micro scaling rule, micro scaling and funded, like other things, and then eval consistency rule. Right, expert has none of that. So expert gives you a little more freedom to trade for pretty much the same parameters as far as that goes. Now on like the payout side, I'm not too familiar with how the payout side works on starter plus. You guys may be able to clue me in on the difference between those. When I talk about like the value, the easiest to pass with the fewest amount of rules. So somebody said that starters are really good at scaling, or starter plus. Maybe you guys can clue me in onto which one of those is better for scaling and why. Somebody said, my fund of futures uncapped on expert till 100K in payouts, as Matt Leach has said on his Twitter. Can I tell you guys something? That's not what I'm talking about. Whip it out. That's part of it, but there's things that they're doing that I can't tell you. Even bigger things. Hop on a burner account and drop the news in chat. You have some even bigger changes coming out. Now, Matt has said that's a vision that he wants to do, so it's not a leak to say that is something they're going to do at some point. To increase their payout cap will be huge. 4 times the payout cap is huge. Well, I didn't leak it. No, Matt tweeted it like a month ago. They've been hinting at it, so at some point they're likely to pull the trigger on it. But there's other cool things they're doing. So, do I have a wife? Not yet. You interested? I'm taking applications right now. Are they going to have Bull Barbie dye her? When I saw when you read that, you go, are they going to have Bull Barbie dye her hair pink? When you said, are they going to have Bull Barbie dye? I was like, what a dramatic end to the saga. Dye her hair pink. I don't know. I think I don't get to see their stream in the morning. Was there something they were like telling her they're going to dye her hair pink or something today? Would I say that my fund of futures is the best prop right now? For end of the day drawdown accounts, it's the best. Yeah. But each account type has a different firm. Like trailing drawdown account, take profits best, right? Straight to funded, Tradeify and ETF are the best. So it depends on what kind of account you're looking for. But for my funded futures overall as a prop firm, and anybody's list, they're in the top 3 always. It's always like my funded, Tradeify, TBT and Top Step are always like actually the top 4. People like those are like the more consistent ones, no shenanigans, good reputation, great history. They pay out. They don't make you go through a lot of hoops. Yeah. And that's why whenever like I was being offered show spots, because you guys know, I'll just tell you straight up, I was offered the morning show at Tradeify. So Tradeify offered me to be their host of the morning show, like their big host. I think they got a guy, his name is Matt also, I think. So Brett came in with the offer, and obviously I couldn't do it because I do my stream. But I was choosing, and it was such a hard choice because I love both of the firms. It's like, how do you choose between everybody's number 1 and other people's number 1? And you ask everybody, it's like in their top 3. So I got offers from, 2 of the big 3 to be on both their TV shows. It was such Thank God that the choice is easy, because I wouldn't know how I would have chosen one or the other. The choice is very easy because I couldn't do the morning show and Brett wasn't doing an afternoon show. And my funded was like, we got a great idea for you. We want you to run our afternoon program because we know you have a morning show. And so I was like, oh, thank God you guys made the choice easy. But God, it was such a hard choice because they're both such great companies. I would be proud to rep either one of them. Switch to ES. Yeah, let's go to ES real quick. Ooh, ES is moving, baby. ES has a 6357 higher target to go off of, yeah. And ES resilience is slightly better than NASDAQ, which is giving us a little more fat. But to ask if my fund is the best out there, it's on anybody's list as one of the top 3 or top 4 in every list you ask. People don't go out there and dog on that firm, which is what I like. Tradeify, same thing. But it could have been a very different world had I chosen to go with, if Tradeify had a lunchtime show or whatever. But I had 2 offers coming at me, and I was like, oh man, I don't know what I'll do if Brett offers me a lunchtime show. How do I pick one or the other? And then, like, I have history with my fund, and I've met Matt and a great company. And I love the straight to funded program at Tradeify. I love the expert program at my funded. I trade both of them. They are both really good. I'm clearly trading both firms right now. I've always traded both firms. And so it's like, God, which one do I pick? Coke or Sprite? I like both of them. So it's hard. But I would have been honored to be doing either show. But I knew whichever show I'd go on would become the bigger show because you guys are such a huge community. And so it was kind of like when we went on the My Funded TV, their shows are twice as big as Tradeify's. Whichever one it's crazy to think about it, whichever one I picked was the tipping point to make it the bigger show, because you guys are huge. It's not me, it's you guys. Like we walk in to My Funded TV and then their views go to like 1,200 viewers from like 500. You know, it's like y'all are such a huge crowd. It's crazy. So we really appreciate you guys and My Funded or wherever. I appreciate y'all in beginning, like in general, just supporting me on whatever I'm doing, which is kind of cool. I know you're huge, Ice Wild. So morning show would have been so much better if I was the host. It would have been fun. Hosting is a cool thing that it's like different than having a stream. A stream is one thing you can do, just talking to a bunch of people in chat. That's cool. I can just banter. But hosting is a whole different story. Hosting is like, you can't take the spotlight. Here I take the spotlight the whole time. I'm just talking and you guys are listening. But a host is like sharing the stage. I'm very awkward at that sometimes, but I think I get good at it over the years of like on camera, because I was in a bunch of podcasts on Twitter Spaces for a while and I got really good at bantering and talking with people. So hosting is more like inviting other people to a conversation rather than just preaching and teaching. And so a lot of people are pretty good at streaming, but they're really bad at hosting. A lot of people are really bad at streaming, what makes them really bad at hosting. But I think I could do the hosting gig because I can prompt people to talk. And I hosted spaces for a while where I'd bring panelists on. So then I thought I would probably be a good morning host, because it's not just me teaching and talking. It's like trading and bantering and like inviting other people to a conversation. And it's a hard skill set because it's really hard to find somebody for that role. And when you guys watch those shows, a lot of times you might say, God, I hate the hosts. These guys suck. They're bad traders. They're bad hosts. It's slim pickings out there, believe it or not. There's not a lot of people with the skill set to do that in the trading world. You have to be a trader, a good host, you know, a good streamer, a good stage presence. There's like not a lot of people to pick from. And the people there are to pick from already have their own show. They're not going to cancel it to like move over. So you got to understand these trader funding program TV shows don't have a lot of people to pick from. There's not a lot of available talent. It's not like they can go up to like Rips or Pat or something and be like, hey, you want to cancel what you do and come run our show? Nobody that already does it's going to do it. So the people that are already talented or trained at doing it are already doing something. So to find somebody that's available that has all those skills is very hard. That's why these shows have a bunch of people you probably never heard of before, because they're usually somebody that's not. That's why Top Step is a bunch of randos and Tradeify's people you haven't heard of yet, because you haven't heard of them yet. They don't have a show already, and you're not going to get like it's very rare you're going to find somebody with time in their day to be able to go host that show, because they're usually, if they're good at hosting a show, they already host their own probably. And that's kind of why it's like when a lot of you guys meme on it, and I know we all do. Everyone memes at like some of the hosts and some of the shows. Oh, this person's not that good at trading, whatever. But don't keep your expectations lower. It's not like they've got a bunch of Kobe's to pick from that are sitting there on the bench looking for a job, right? It's kind of hard to have that skill set. And you miss those spaces? Dude, the spaces were fun. That's only back in the day when I used to stream for like 2 hours in the morning and do spaces all day long. There was a time, I think 1 week, my record, I think, was like 15 spaces in a week. That was when spaces were a huge deal a couple years back. And then I started doing like 1 a week, and then I started doing 0 a week. Those were the days, right? FinTwit After Hours, and me and Stock Talk Weekly had a thing, and then me and Wolf had our own show with Rocket Scooter, and then on Wednesday I was on the show with The Street, and me and Peter Tukman and Jay Woods and Sarge and all those guys had a show. Peter Tukman's a goofball, man. He's funny. He's a funny guy. The old glory days, like the golden age of Twitter Spaces. I got to meet a lot of cool people through that gig on the street. That's how I met Ashton, by the way. Him and I were both on that show they had. And AJ, that's how I met A Stocks, the architect. I met AJ on that show. Those are the olden days. Spitting facts here about the TV shows. Yeah, it would be like, honestly, every TV show out there from their perspective is like, you know, even Brad came to me. He's like, I'd love for you to host the show, but I know you're going to say no. That's exactly what he said. He's like, but I feel like it'd be like insulting not to offer it to you, because I'd love for you to host it, but I know you're going to say no. But here's what it is, and here's how much I'm paying and all that. And I know you're going to say no, but I'll let you see it anyways. And I was like, oh man, that's such a good offer. I was like, yeah, you know, I can't do it. But he's like, but if you know anybody that you think can do it, you know, recommend somebody. He's like, because I'm having a hard time finding people. And I'm like, I don't know anybody. And that was the same thing I said. I'm like, I don't know anybody. He's like, yeah, we're doing an interview process. We're interviewing a bunch of people. And he's like, we found some really great folks. They're really good. But if you know anybody, pass the word along. And I'm like, who do I know that could host a show that already doesn't host a show? It's not like there's like a pool of like 50 unemployed trading show hosts. Everybody's already got a gig. And I like racked my brain for weeks. I asked a few people I thought would be into it, and they were like, nah, I can't do it. I have something I already do. And I was like, huh, if I had a prop firm and I was trying to make a TV show, like I wouldn't be able to find anybody to do it. So challenging that it is that they find good personalities and good show hosts. For what it is, they did a great job at Tradeify and at MyFunded. The hosts are good. They're really good. They're entertaining. They're fun. But, you know, it's not like there's a million superstar A+ trader, A+ host, A+ speakers just sitting there looking for a job. There's literally no supply. You can't find anybody that has that skill set. And if there's tons of them that exist, you just don't know who they are. There's a bunch of like small talent out there that have no visibility. So it's like, how do you know who they are? There's a ton of people I run across, like Tyler. Now that I know Tyler, I would recommend Tyler back in the day. But Tyler's got good stage presence. He's a good trader. He's a good speaker, and he doesn't have a show. And in hindsight, I would throw Tyler at the opportunity and be like, hey, I got a buddy Tyler that can do it. And you guys know Tyler's great. Now he has his own stream. But at the time, dude, I couldn't think of anybody. What's my favorite Michael Jackson song? Probably Beat It. It's surprised they're not going to try to get those high dollar trading multimillionaire gurus. Well, part of it is they don't want to get some loser on these shows either. They're, you know, the TV show people are smart enough to know that you're not going to get some swindler furu guru on there. They know who has a shady sort of like presence and whatever. Well, there's a million of those guys to pick from. But in all honesty, for a TV show, you need somebody that's going to have honesty and a clean background. Yeah. I'm sure there's a list of people they wouldn't consider. Yeah. But yeah, the wolf spaces back in the day. Oh, have you seen what Gav is up to lately? Gav is about to do a collab with Mr. Beast. Have you guys seen that on his Have you guys seen that on his Twitter? I knew that kid before he was huge, and now he's collabing with Mr. Beast. How about that? He's been that guy's been hustling. Let me tell you a cool story about Wolf Financial. Isn't that crazy? So Wolf Financial, right? So back in the day, they had an app for traders. And wait, what did Mike say? Hold on, wait, what did he say? My Fun and Future muted you the other day for saying a totally non-creepy comment towards iDoc. They made you feel like a weirdo. Had to share it with my priest in confession. All right, so iDoc is now here to officially unban you if she can do it. And maybe Abby's in here, he'll do it. How to use POC to improve your efficiency? Oh, so from the conversation from earlier, right? Any pivot with volume is where you make your trade from, whether you're right or wrong. Efficiency comes from being right or wrong at the right place. So if you have a high volume pivot like point of control on a volume profile, it's a very solid high volume pivot. If you get there and you enter a trade and you see volume, you are trading from the right place, whether it's long or short, it doesn't matter. At least you're in the right spot. If it hits point of control and you don't see volume, there are no traders with you, abandon ship. Point of control doesn't imply volume will happen. It implies previous volume happened there. So you're betting on volume happening again at some place. And so you're looking for it to, efficiency means you're longing from the right spot. You're betting on volume happening and then it going in your direction. The last thing you ever want to do is trade where there's no volume and it just chops around and doesn't go anywhere. So anything that has to do with, IceWild, he was asking me because we were talking about it on the show. So anything that can find volume or at least attempt to find current volume is useful for efficiency because you want to trade where volume will be. Whatever side you pick, that's the place to be in at. Does point of control involve gamma? No, point of control is a volume profile. It's just a volume aggregate over price. So it's a like sideways histogram of just bars that show how much volume is traded each price over a specified time frame in the past. So, Steph, yeah, let me answer your question, Steph. Different accounts in my fund, sure. And again, to tell you guys that Wolf Financial, just before I get started with what Steph was asking. Let me load it up really quick. Nice to meet you. Let me pull this up really quick. So yeah, basically 3 different account types. Starter, Starter Plus, and Expert. If you look at them side by side at the 50K, you can see that this is 97, this is 127, and this is 227. There's price tiers, and the Expert one is like the bigger gap. So what's the difference between all of them? Starter is like an entry-level account that is very cheap but very hard. It has 2 very important rules that make it hard, but it's reason it's cheap. Usually with prop firms, the cheaper it is, the harder it is. Daily loss limit limits your scalability, and a consistency rule once you're funded limits you making big trades when you're in your funded account. So it kind of throttles how much you can make, and therefore you're inching along in a starter account. It's not bad by any means, but it's just not as good as Starter Plus. Slightly more expensive for 30 bucks, but you don't have a daily loss limit and you only have consistency on eval, not when you're funded. So this makes it just slightly harder. I'm sorry, this makes it slightly easier with no DLL. Actually significantly easier with no DLL to pass for 30 extra bucks a month. So Starter Plus is amazing value. No daily loss limit is huge for scalability, and then no consistency on the eval side. I mean, on the funded side, only on the eval side. Starter is the other way around. Consistency once funded, no consistency in the eval side. So these guys, you can jump in and YOLO trade to pass if you think about what that means, and just pass it as quick as you can with no consistency. Just meet the minimum number of trading days and you're good. Starter Plus, Makes it easier once funded and easier to get funded because of those rules. Expert, for the big price jump, it actually gives you a lot more freedoms even so. So more price, more freedom. So expert has no consistency either place. Eval, funded, and no daily loss limit, period. And then all these extra things that they have here. Like scaling rule, micro scaling rule, you can't do that in starter and starter plus. And expert, you can basically do anything you want. It makes it a little bit easier for different trading styles. That's basically the difference. I like the experts because I like having as few rules as possible, to be honest. Is there a volume profile indicator on Tradeovate? I'm not really sure on Tradeovate. So between which ones to pick, Steph, Starter Plus is great. A great starting place to go. And you use our code, it'll knock like 50% off your first account with them, with our code. So Rocket Scooter code will get you 50% off your first MyFunded account. An expert, with 50% off, you can even, swing for the fence and get expert. I mean, it's half off, so it really makes that super cheap. The easiest one to pass. Hopefully that helps. Yep. Yeah, somebody says with the 50% off, you should definitely go for the expert for your first one, yeah. I mean, it's half off, so, anytime something's half off, that's when you really get your best bang for your buck, might as well. The expert becomes the price of the starter plus at that point, which is kind of nice. Yeah, of course. I got you, Steph. And MFU's starter plus and Tradeify growth? Yeah. So MFFU's starter plus has a no consistency rule once funded on the eval side, and no daily loss limit. Tradeify's growth has a daily loss limit and consistency. So starter plus is better than growth on the account of no daily loss limit. That's a big rule. I mean, to me, that limits your scalability. So even expert and starter plus, I would say both are better than Tradeify's. Expert is half off on your first account that you buy with the code, Evan. Yeah, Rocket Scooter gives you 50% off of all 3 of their accounts. One account. And it lasts until the end of the month. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, so my buddy Wolf Financial, right? So back in the day, they had an app that was kind of like Twitter, stock twits, kind of mixed together, and then a whole lot better. It was like basically Twitter, but you can click on the stock and it would give you all kind of insights and AI insights, and people were saying this and that about a stock. It was a very cool. The Wolf app was kind of like a cooler version of Twitter for traders. And then some private equity firm came and bought them out. And the 3 partners were Wolf and these 2 other guys. And the 2 other guys took the payout. And Wolf, instead of getting paid millions of dollars, decided he'd make a bargain with them to keep the Wolf brand. And he took that brand and became like Barstool level branding. Really smart decision. And now he was covering like MMA fights. He was doing trading for a while. Now he's like just this like cool media company that's growing and growing and growing. And now he's about to collab with Mr. Beast. Like, this is how big he's gotten, which is crazy. Back in the day when Spaces just started, Wolf got in on the beta, and one of the few people that had Spaces, and him and a bunch of his friends, which are like me and Stock Talk Weekly and TSTR and a bunch of people and Stock Market News, and all of us started hosting Spaces together, and he just blew up, man, overnight with Twitter Spaces. And then now everybody's doing Twitter Spaces, which is like saturated a little bit, but for a whole like maybe 6 months or so, you can even host a space. Not everybody was able to do it. Only people invited to do it. And then for the longest time, he was I don't know if anymore because he's doing it, but he was the most watched Spaces per hour of any host anywhere for Twitter Spaces when it first started. I think Mario Nafal, whatever his name is the biggest one now. But at the time, Bob was the biggest. So he was the most watched Twitter Space. And he was hosting 9 hours of Spaces a day. Those were the days, man. It was like 2022 days, 2021, 2022. So the question you guys had, Bradley Williams, how to translate gold to futures? Okay. Here's what you do. You take a level, you take the current value. So gold, right? You're going to take GC divided by GLD. It's going to give you a fraction, current price. Okay. And that's going to equal to your gold level. It's cross multiplying. And you're going to try to convert it to your GC level. Okay. So say that you have a hedge pressure here and you get your prices from your platforms. This is the real-time price at any given instant. Just find the fraction. And so you're going to just like cross multiply and solve for this. So this goes over here. And then you're solving for that. So it's equal to the fraction times the level. And it gives you your cross multiplying. Like the relationship is not too bad. Just basic cross multiplying. Ooh. ETF funded was pretty affordable, except for the max payout kind of sucks. But all straight to fundeds are gonna have max payout. This is how straight to funded programs work. TradeFi has a max payout too. You're not ever gonna see straight to funded with not having max payout. That's kind of like when Fast Track had like straight to funded, dude, that company blew up. And Brett did it right because you have to have payout caps. There's no effective like risk model with uncapped. Trust me, dude, I'd like to go into straight to funded and just rake out millions of free dollars, right? Somebody says, you just hope my funded ups their cap to 5 funded ASCP. Got 2 evals ready to move. Oh yeah, they've been hinting at that too, huh? Yeah, lots of cool things are coming out with my funded, hopefully sooner rather than later. So Keith, consistency. Okay. How much, so 50K TradeFi, right? What's your, Keith, what is your total profit target for your 50K? I'm too lazy to look it up. Is it 4,500 or 3K? 3K, okay. So 20% consistency means no more, your trades can't be more than $600 each. Okay. Or else this gets bigger. So in your first trade, you made $600 day one. Do you need to stick to 400 each of the other days? No, each one can be 600 or less. So you're right, because what you did was you're taking the remaining 5 days, which is 2,400, right? Or the remaining 6 days, 2,400, 24 divided by 6, and you're getting 400. That's where you're getting that from, right? I used to make the same mistake till I figured this out. The guy, actually, I think it was Simon Dean that told me I was doing it wrong. So what happens is you're doing exactly what I used to do. You're subtracting that and you go, I got 2,400 left and I've got 6 more days to pay out, and you're dividing that by 6. You're like, okay, I can only get 400 per day. But it's actually 20% of your haul. Your biggest trade can't be more than 20% of your total, which just means you need to get none of your trades can go over 600 or this gets bigger. You can make 600 times 7 and you're totally fine. You can do 600 times 5 and you're totally fine, and flip the other 2 days. That's what most people will do. That's a great question. Yeah, good question. Yeah, so as long as you, basically the rule of thumb is your biggest trade sets the pace for all your other trades. The way that I deal with consistency for all the normal consistency rules is like, whatever my biggest trade is, you try not to go above your biggest trade. Unless your biggest trade is less than their rules guidelines. So an example is 20% on 3,000 means 600 is their max you can go until the balance gets bigger. So if you got like 300 one day, aim for 600 one day. And if you accidentally go over to 700, then you can't make any more than 700, or else the goalpost keeps shifting. Yeah. I used to think it the other way. So 40% is better than 20%. Yeah. The higher the consistency rule on the at most, I call it consistency rules at most, your biggest trade can be at most 20% of the total. The bigger the number, the better. So 40% means that you can pass in 3 days. 20% means you can pass in 5 days. Granted, you don't bust your consistency. So higher number means quicker pass. Where do I get my news? I use Financial Juice for my news. It's a really cool website. S&P going up to DD band, man. I'm loving it. How'd Nasdaq do after that little selling pressure there? S&P riding, baby. What's Tyler's channel? Let me get it for you. It is TG Capital. And every time you watch a show, you need to, here you go, there's Tyler. You tell him that you say, your dad said he's proud of you. He always says, he always calls me dad. He's like, you know, I want to be like you when I grow up, dad. And I'm like, thanks, son. He's like my streaming protege. So proud of my boy. Yep, he's really good at streaming. He's good. He's got a good setup. Tell him daddy's proud. Not say daddy though. That sounds weird when we say daddy. Say dad. Dad is proud. Fund index compared to TBT. You can't compare the two because they're two completely different. TBT is fantastic in its own right because you can get daily payouts and it's really good. TBT's middle step is the middle step or the final step is trailing drawdown. It makes it a little hard. And the fund index is end of the day, so they're completely like different. Yeah, TPT's pro is the one in the middle, the funded, not live, is intraday. So once you get funded with TPT, it's intraday. Kind of like, The eval side is end of the day, and you can stock up on a bunch of them, and you just move 5 accounts over once you go live. And you can only flip, is it 10 max per month at TPT? I forgot what you guys said. You can go live in or go funded in 10, I think. And then once you go pro, it's end of the day drawdown again once you go live. So TPT is kind of like a quick path to payout. It's pretty nice. They have consistency in the test side, but no consistency once you're funded, which actually makes it really nice. No consistency in end of the intraday drawdown until buffer is not bad. And that's why TPT is awesome. Middle step trailing, yeah, 5. 5 total pro and pro plus. Thank you. Now, how many can you reset? How many can you activate though per month? You have a cap on how many you can do per month. You can have 5 at any given time, but if you blow up and you roll some of your past pro accounts or your past evals in a pro, you can do 10 per month, Eric. Yeah. Okay, that's right. It's 10. So essentially, like with Take Profit, you just go past a bunch of them and you sit on them, roll 5 into pro, and they're intraday trailing drawdowns with 80-20 profits. So they're kind of like Apex accounts once you're paid. And then once you get over your buffer, you get payouts. And if you fail, you just take one of your tests and then you amp it back up to pro. And you can have like a bunch on standby, and you're not paying monthly fees once you're passed. So that's why people like it. And then you get, and you can get daily payouts, which is what I like about Take Profit. Daily payouts with them are awesome. I get daily payouts from them. The affiliate side, I can just log in and grab some money if I need it. And it usually transfers within the same day. It's pretty nice. You pay $1,500 to refresh the pro. Oh, that's right. Yep, you can pay to refresh the pro once you run out of your 10. Let's talk about Funded Next. Yeah, Funded Next, whenever they do have their no DLL sale, becomes the best prop account you can buy. It's the one that has the 3 rules of Matt's Triumvirate. They have 2 of the rules gone, which is great. And the 2 of the best rules gone that you want gone. They have no DLL when they have the sale and uncapped payouts. The reason people go with Fund Index is it's one of the very few uncapped payout firms out there. No cap. Literally no cap on no caps. And so 50K is the best. You can get up to 6 of them total. And what I like about them is that it's your standard end of the day drawdown account, which is nice. Good rules. 3 days to pass, 5 days to get payout. Consistency is 40, which is super easy to deal with. And no DLL means you can scale it to the moon, and uncapped payouts means you can take it all out, which is kind of cool. And what I did like about them is there's no monthly fee and no activation fee. It's a one and done. You just pay and you're in. And then there's no payout split, which is crazy. And when you pass eval and when you get to a certain payout, they give you a bonus on top of your payout from your eval based on the size of the eval you bought. So they pay a little bonus. And if they don't pay you within 24 hours, they send you $1,000 as a bonus, as an I'm sorry we were delayed on the payout, as a payout guarantee. So Fund Index is a lot of cool stuff. Now, when they don't have their sale and they have DLL, then the My Funded Futures, Starter Plus, and Experts have no DLL are slightly easier to play. So the account is like, they're slightly better and then they're slightly better. So when, depending on who has what sale, one of them is better than the other, but they're both like S tier. They're both really, really good. And so I make my decision flip-flopping between the two programs by who's having the better sale at the better time. And that's usually what makes my decision. But is 25K part of the sale too? Yeah, any of the accounts. And they'll be 30% off with our code. So I'm giving you guys the scoop, and it's tomorrow morning when it starts. That Funding Ticks paid him a $1 million signing bonus? Probably. What percent sale does Fund Index usually do? 5%. They usually normally do 5%. So this being 30 is pretty big. Yeah. Which one to buy? The 50K is the best one for the value. Get 6 50Ks instead of 3 100s, and you'll get more drawdown to cost ratio. All things being equal. When they don't have a sale, the 100K is better because the DLL is bigger and the consistency is the same. So the scalability is much bigger on the 100K. When they get rid of the DLL, the 50K is the best one. We already did this math the last time they had the sale. So let me explain to you what I'm saying. DLL it limits how fast you can grow an account. Just think of it like that. And so with the DLL being 1200 and the 50K, you can only grow so fast. If it's 2400, you can grow twice as fast. Think of it like that. And so with that being said, the 100K is the better plan because you can speedily accelerate higher. But when they get rid of the DLL, which one's better, right? The difference is you get only $500 extra of total drawdown for like 200 extra on the plan. A little more expensive for just a little bit more fat. It's kind of like when you do the ratio of total drawdown to total cost, the middle one is the best one. So no sale, this one's best. When there's a sale, this one's best. When there's no sale, that one's best. When there is a sale with no DLL, this becomes the best prop account you can buy in all existing prop accounts, period, if you're trying to make big payouts. Nothing beats this. And everybody kind of read that last time around because I was shouting this like this is the best prop deal that there is in the history of prop deals. And as soon as we started making a splash, like Brian was advertising it, so was I. Every influencer in the world over the next 2 weeks was like shouting about Fund Index because they realized that those were too good to be true rules. And a drawdown to cost ratio of 10 or greater is very rare with those rules. You would think that'd be very expensive account with those rules missing, but the cost of drawdown is like 10. And that's anything above 9 is good. So 10 is great. And why are they too good to be true? It's market share, right? Saturated market, and they're a big Forex firm and they're trying to make a splash in futures. So they're trying to make big splashes, but they only do it temporarily. And that's why I tell people, you know, if you're doing props, load up on a couple and babysit them and make those your serious ones, because those are the ones that are fun to trade once you build a buffer in it. And then you have like essentially a real trading account that you can scale with no daily loss limit. And if you're lucky enough, build a big fat ball of money in there and, you know, with very few rules to limit your growth. But if you do bust them and the sale's over, you can't reset them and keep the rules, unfortunately. That's the sad part. Yeah. When does 40% TPT end? Good question. Let me look. When does 40% TPT end? Talk to my person here and give me all the info. Maybe somebody here knows. That's ETF. Where the heck is TPT? So Tradeify's ended on the 15th. That one's over with. Yeah, I don't see anything that's telling me that it's ending. So yeah, we get 40% off with TPT, and I don't think that it's ending anytime soon. What's the best My Fun and Futures account? I like the Expert because there's a fewer amount of roles. Expert and Starter Plus, people like them for different reasons, but they're both really good. Are the Funded Next straight to funded? No, but Funded Next, hint, hint, is coming out with the straight to funded program. So that's coming out soon. And again, I have the inside scoop on that, and I'm allowed to tease and hint about that. So they'll have a straight to funded program pretty soon, which would be kind of cool. All right, so S&P is continuing to ride higher and higher to the upper DD band. This is nice. I'm kind of locked. I can try to squeeze like another maybe $500 or $600 out of this to get close to the targets, but I'm okay with like what I've done today. It's been a good day. Nasdaq popping that D band a second time. Dang, S&P going for the top. S&P no stop, no whammy. Way up to the top. And this I was talking about earlier, like it sucks when you're like trying to short a market and you just get slowly squeezed little by little and it starts speeding up. Thought S&P could hit 63.57 today. It looks like we're getting there. We got 1 hour left to market. Funded Next sale is going to last for 6 days, something like that. 6 or 7 days, just a week, a little bit less than a week. The best My Funded Futures again. Can I show you the Expert? Would be able to get them at 30% off. Yeah, tomorrow after market open. Y'all ready for the knife? You think we're going to get the knife, comms? Hopefully so, man. It's some movement today. Is anybody planning to short this market up here? Rejection 313. What do we have up here? I got nothing. This is all junk lines here. Okay. 313. I don't disagree with a high target like that. We have monthly expiration tomorrow, so market is going to be. So that's an extension target. So all-time high 313. Yeah, I think that we popped like to there, like, and then it's red to finish up to there. And then tomorrow, I think we probably, who knows what happens in expiration, right? But it does feel like that this is going to go slightly higher, at least before anything comes down. I don't think we sell off from here either. VIX is still high enough and not coming down, leading into a possible volatile finish for tomorrow. So we could have a choppy, top choppy day to finish out. So you're gonna ask my opinion on what I think is gonna happen. Again, I don't know anything, so don't even take this as a grain of salt, or take it with a grain of salt. I think this, and then we come back down to there, and then we spend all day doing this. The market just kind of like chops like this and it close. Higher highs, lower lows sort of thing. VIX is high enough so the volatility can increase. I think we megaphone into close tomorrow. What do y'all think about that? Does that sound about right? Higher volatility above triple V that we megaphone, like tomorrow is a alligator mouth. Maybe. Maybe. Giveaway, please. Somebody said. Hold on. Somebody made an AI picture of me snacking on cereal from the Robin's Cup. That's so funny. That's funny. I'm going to retweet this. That was really funny. So does that probably look about right? Like we just have a volatile close without a sell off, without a rally. The market's just going to range a little wider. Probably pop by the end of the day, pull back just a little bit. And then we close kind of like slanting upward into close. No big sell off, revert to mean, close out. Slight volatility below 20, but at least elevated in the new contract. I think your target of 300 and something, like an overshoot, maybe like a 40 points off of here, closer to, yeah, like you're not wrong, like somewhere in there. Probably about right. What's my verdict on Apex? If you use Apex, switch to take profit. With payout denials and all this, stop fiddling with it, man. Like I said, Apex has been doing things like this and people are starting to get fed up. Take profit is like the clear alternative to Apex, and we get 40% off with that code. And it's the same kind of account. I'm really sorry you're getting denied payouts. Slowly but surely, Apex is becoming out of everyone's favorite. And I'm not going to lie to you. Up here on the top of the screen, I'm about to remove Apex. Not because I don't think it's a great company. I just, with so many better options that aren't doing stuff like that, you got to be like very careful. And Take Profit has like such better setup for similar type of accounts. Ooh, 3 rejections at upper DD band. So I don't personally trade Apex anymore because of the shenanigans. You're stopping now. It's your best day ever. 16.5 on 3 accounts on my funded. Diana, wow. That's incredible. I mean, post up something in a P&L. Like show your plan or what you did. Yeah, but Apex is denying payouts and take profit gives you daily payouts. There's a big difference, Ken. And as far as I know, I'm not hearing take profit like denying people's payouts for wonky reasons. A lot of people in Apex are getting denials for whatever it is without getting explanations as to why and stuff. 6K today, Leo. Nice, man. Nice, man. Nice, you guys. You're my fan for life. We'll appreciate that. But nice. Like I said, I like to just kind of keep, for me, for a prop firm to be like who I would use as somebody that's going to be paying me out, give me a runaround and have good customer service when I have questions and not have any like subjective denial, just have good rules that I get paid if I make the rules. And when I hear I got denied and I don't know why, it's always a red flag to me. And so I've heard that all too much lately with Apex. I was denied, I don't know why, and I haven't heard anything back. And it's kind of frustrating to be, you can't trade with it anymore. You're waiting to see what you do next. And my favorite prop firms, all the ones you see on the screen. I'm live at ETF, I'm live at my funded futures, and I'm trading Tradeify straight to fundeds currently on the stream. And I'm trading funded next with a no DLL. Uncapped payouts. Whew, I can't wait for that sale. Ooh. Ooh. Apex asks for feet pics and a blood sample. Yeah, probably. TBT was the fastest, smoothest, easiest payout I've ever had. Oh yeah, no, it's super quick. TBT is lightning fast. Tradeify is lightning fast. My funded futures approval side is lightning fast. But yeah, TBT is quick. I request a payout and no big deal. I get daily payouts there on the affiliate side. 17 points. Oh, Diana didn't add correctly. Now you have 17.7, almost a 20K day. Super incredible, you guys. Very cool. Very awesome. And I am very proud of y'all. See how high S&P goes today. There's no stopping that S&P today, boy. I'm telling you, it's going good. So I'm on my 18th day streak. See if I can't go for 20. That'd be nice. Thank you guys for retweeting that My Funded Show stuff that I post. I really appreciate that. Attorneys Apex their trading accounts. Yes. They're kind of like, any good courses recommend for beginners, Jose? You can come to our boot camp. We'll be starting it up again in about a month. No. How many contracts do I trade with? It depends on the account size, but usually on average, about 2 NASDAQ contracts is about really all I do with the prop firm stuff. For S&Ps. How to get the levels for gold? Bradley is GLD. If you go to our table down here, it'll give you like the futures to go with it, right? The futures ticker size, or sorry, ticker name. And then for the ETF gold, we just use GLD for liquidity map, and silver SLV. So it's just a gold ETF. Earnings on Netflix? No idea. I really don't follow Netflix or a lot of stock earnings, to be honest. Hopefully it'll be good. I don't know. Crude oil, use USO, Hustas. You go to USO. Is a good I get my oil levels from there. Boom, boom. Yes, sir. Oh, nice little trickle day up. I almost wish I would have had a good night's sleep. I was up all night working on this overnight dynamic, which is nice. So I'll get my next data point today after market to test it one more time. Do, 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 do. Man, I'm like tired today. Mm-hmm. What's up, Bagel?
The quick intermission.
Bagel!
He was just sleeping and he woke up.
Oh, he's gonna be calm.
I think so.
Hi, Pickle.
Ew. Such a breath you have there.
He was tired.
That was a good yawn.
18-day win streak. Pickle.
Good job.
High five, Pickle.
Hey, Justice.
So tired.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wanna take a nappy nap?
Maybe so.
You want me to hold you like the way I hold Pickle?
Could you? How strong are your triceps?
I think I can. It's not my triceps. It's all in your quads.
Oh yeah, this is
and
true.
your glutes. I can bench like a lot more than you. I think I can bench you.
You can bench me.
I can bench you.
You can bench me.
I can squat you.
You want to bench me? You think you can try?
Yeah. You want to try? Just sit on top of me, and then I'll like show you what I can do.
Wait, so how much can you bench?
Is benching the squatting or benching when you lay down?
Let's clarify this before you hurt yourself. Benching is where you lay down and you push up. It's like a push up this way.
I can bench your arm, but I can squat probably half your body.
That's what she said.
Would you be able to like squat or do a squat if I sat on your shoulders? No way she can bench you. What do you take me for?
What?
Matt.
He wants a bite of the crust. Don't take all of it. Take a little bite. Listen to him crunch. It's adorable.
ASMR, do it again.
Little piece of pizza bread crust.
Yeah, a little ASMR.
A little bit of crust.
Can y'all hear the ASMR, the mukbang?
That's a little cute.
Subscribe.
I'm just getting him like a tiny little piece of crust because he'll otherwise be throwing up later if I give him any more. That's it. No mas. It was eye in it. That's why I felt bad. I'm like, all right, here, have a bite.
Yeah, Vietnamese people always say, "Don't look at my food. Don't eye my food."
Now he's had the flavor. Now he's gonna want to eat pizza crust all the time.
Are you gonna let Pickle pick a direction?
No, we're not trading anymore. We're done.
Oh, okay. Well then I guess it's iDoc Talk stream now. Move.
Hey,
Hey guys.
did you see like this morning? I successfully lost the 11,000 or whatever.
How did you? That's hard.
We found a trick now.
What's the trick? Are you allowed to share?
Yeah, we found an old contract to trade. Has a really big spread, so that when you open the position, you're automatically at a huge loss because of the way pricing works. So I just opened and closed a couple times and whittled it down by like 11K in a couple seconds, which is nice.
Nice.
But with control, so I ended up where I wanted to be.
That's not considered risky trading.
No, it's it's not. You wouldn't normally do that. It's like a contract that's about to expire. Like,
yeah, I don't know much about prop firms, but I was just curious.
Imagine in general, like it's nobody's trading this thing. Nobody wants it. It's like last month's old crap, so nobody wants it.
Yeah.
So because nobody wants it, there's a huge discrepancy in price. And we jumped in with a little tricky trick.
What is this exactly live trading futures? Google live trading futures, or actually futures trading.
Look at his eyes. Watch.
Yeah, he's fixated on the freaking. Pickle's bringing up your viewers right now.
He's a good boy.
That's how we run our channel. We ask you to Google everything. No, it's not a healthy diet. Don't let him fool you. He's gonna tell you that French fries is a vegetable, part of the vegetable food group.
Yeah.
That's what happens when I'm not around, guys. Oh no, he's not calm. He usually isn't. He's only calm because I took him to the park for like 20 minutes. And he just woke up from a long nap. Is the stream glitching? Or is everything okay? Ugh. Every time he yawns, it smells like fish ass. Fish and ass. Fish ass, socks, and durian is what his breath smells like. Do you guys smell that?
You would think fish ash wouldn't smell so bad.
Because it already smells so bad as it is.
No, because it's constantly being washed with salt water.
True.
And fish ass can be like constantly living in a bidet.
It smells like fish ass.
Yeah.
Do you know what a bidet smells like? You have like this strong thing against bidets.
Probably because I don't know anything about them.
Maybe before you make assumptions, read up on it like you always do.
What does it do?
Trade. Huh? It squirts water up your hoo-ha.
Yeah, but water also splashes when you squirt it.
Right, but so does flushing the toilet.
What I'm saying is though, like, doesn't water squirt your poo-poos like all over the place? Like,
so it squirts it, and ideally gravity takes over and it drips straight down because poo-poo is heavy.
oh, I get you. You still have to wipe with one of these things or what?
No. The idea is that you wipe first, then you squirt, and then you wipe again to dry.
Oh, okay. So that's much better than dipping the toilet paper in the water underneath you.
Why would you do that?
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We should have bought stocks, like bidet stocks, during COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how my parents got around the whole toilet paper crisis or shortage.
Did you know in ancient Rome, they used to have a community bathhouse with just a bunch of seats, like almost like a sauna, with holes in them. You would just sit on the thing with the hole.
You poop together.
Yeah, and also there was a community brush. It was like a sponge on a stick that sat in some vinegar, the disinfectant, and you would scrub it clean with the brush and then put it back in the bucket.
Scrub yourself clean with a brush, or scrub the toilet clean with a brush?
No, you scrub yourself clean with the brush.
And then you put it. Oh.
You put it in like the vinegar or whatever to disinfect
There's
it.
not that much vinegar that can disinfect fecal matter.
And then they would pass this like it
So
was a community sponge. So
Can you imagine playing hot potato with that brush? Hot potato, hot potato.
I'm sure there was a lot of pranksters in there that would be like, hey.
Just throw it in your face.
Yeah. This is yeah, we're bored with no trades today, so we're gonna have
Fun here. We're gonna talk about
yeah
community wipe stick.
Yeah, the community wipe stick. That's if I was to make a new heavy metal band, I would call it community wipe stick. That'd be great. Or punk, actually a punk band.
I'd subscribe.
Yeah. All right. What do you got? How much time is left?
Here comes the dookie talk.
Yeah, it always turns out into that at the end of the day. So we'll check Nasdaq here at the top. Nasdaq hitting strong resistances. It's almost looking like it's trying to create some kind of craziness here. So we'll see if this turns out to be something good. Well, you guys. Back on. Oh. What do we think we're going to do here, y'all? Mark it up, mark it down. What do we think? Free toilet paper giveaway.
Free monitor.
I should make community wipe sticks with Rocket Scooter logo on it.
There you go. Y'all can make a new song, AI song now about community wipe stick.
30 minutes left. 30 minutes left. Cool. All right. Time to close out this day. Bye, Pickle. Bye, boy.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. Crazy to see if Nasdaq resists upper band and starts selling just to end out. I thought it would maybe go higher highs before it, like we hit MOC and it's just like, we'll see. You want to see NQ dump? I kind of would like to see a dump too. Up last minute? Yeah, probably so. And three rejections of DD ban, which is kind of interesting. Tells me it wants to fall. It's going to take MOC power to get through it. I don't think it's going to get through it till there. Smell my hand? What does it smell like? Smells like pizza. Hey, what's up, Sook? My day's pretty good. Whatever this is. I've effectively positioned myself for tomorrow's Fund Index sale, which is good. So I got the accounts busted that I need to bust. And then I got I didn't trade my funded account today, and then I have my trade advisor doing all right. What I reckon about Elite Trader Funding? Elite Trader Funding has a really good straight to funded program and a really good static program. Their static is really what sets them apart. With Fund Index, you can have up to $300,000 worth of accounts. So either 650s, 1225s, or 3100s. Here's the movement. The sale they're gonna have is 30% off with no DLL. Just like the last big sale they had 2 months ago. Yo, I just got my Steam Deck in yesterday. It was pretty cool. Or 2 days ago. So I ordered a Steam Deck just to have something to like play on the road whenever we go on trips and stuff. I also have I bought a thing that turns my car's screen into like, you know, like an Apple TV. Or it's like a little box and you plug into the screen. And then it hijacks the screen and turns into a monitor for viewing. So on road trips, essentially, you can turn your GPS or your screen in your car into an active movie screen. So now I can like, when I like driving, I can like play my Nintendo Switch in the car. Things like that. It's called a Magic Box. I saw it online. It works pretty well, actually. You can stream like Netflix and whatever to your car's TV screen. Magic Box. That's the one I got. So it's compatible with your car, but essentially it you know, you shouldn't be watching TV or whatever while you're driving, you know, like if you should be, but it turns your screen into an active screen. So this thing's got Netflix, Amazon Prime on it, you know, has an HDMI input so I can plug something into it. It's pretty cool. All right, because this last little run up is S&P is running straight up into close. I wonder if that's going to be it for today, though. Get ready here. Do you guys think we bounce up on S&P? That's like fourth tab TD ban. Wow. 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 I don't think we flush in the close. With volatility's there, we could. Market could do anything. Usually I don't bet against the upper DD band, though. It's kind of a thing I don't do. Unless I got the ratio less than half, and it's definitely bullish enough. That was nice today, but the continual upward movement just let me see that probably not a lot of steam, not a lot of selling pressure on this. Nvidia's kind of just like leveling out. Apple's kind of sort of sitting there. Amazon leveling out. Nothing's really moving a lot either. Microsoft moved big today and stayed flat most of the afternoon. Meta's flat all day. Tesla's down. So none of the big seven are like moving except for like a couple of stocks. Google and Microsoft are looking good. And everything else is sort of blah. VIX is still in a nice decay pattern, which is good for bull side. Trump come through and tweet something, market jumps 1000% in a second. You have one of those for your Yukon, the Magic Bus. They're really cool, right? Magic Box. Oh yeah. A no monthly fee prop firm that you could recommend beyond Funded Next. Tradeify's straight to funded is not a monthly fee. This day just flew by, didn't it, Jenna? Oh yeah. Feel like it did. What Amazon's doing right now. Let's check it. Amazon. Ooh! MHP break on Amazon looking solid there. Get a big old squeeze up to close out the day. What do y'all think we do here? MOC stands for market on close. It's a process that takes the last 10 minutes of the day to achieve. I'll give you a link on it. Read up a little bit about it. Do I use Rocket Scooter as my trading platform? You can. You can trade a real account in Rocket Scooter. Yes. How long is the fund to next sale? For a week. Yeah, so market on close essentially is like if you are a large firm and you want to dump or get in a position at the end of the day at the close and you want one price and one fill without having to deal with slippage, you submit an order to the market maker, market on close, and you say, fill me at the close for 100,000 shares. Doesn't matter. And then essentially at 10 minutes before market closes, you have to submit your order before that 10-minute window. And then the market maker collects everybody's orders in secret. And then at 10 minutes, they start to try to navigate price to the most liquid spot at close and then fills everybody right at the close. So right, 10 minutes before is when kind of like the last of the orders gets submitted and then price starts moving very rapidly to close out the day. So an example is if there's 10-to-1 buying on the close, there's a huge buy imbalance at the close. The dealer needs to find sellers. So a lot of the times they might raise the price to trigger a bunch of sellers so they can accumulate. And then now they have the shares so that they can fulfill the obligation at the close. So the last 10 minutes is like market makers trying to take the last bit of closing orders and also accumulate if they need to fulfill the closing obligation. And so basically at 10 minutes, volume picks up and market starts going really quick. Tend to see another injection of liquidity sometimes, 5 minutes till close. Yeah, you can start to see, depending on what it is you're staring at, certain people might have to jump in and act in that time frame. Come on, let's get some kind of exciting movement. It would be nice to see if this collapsed and crashed out in a close. That'd be kind of cool to see. You think market makers are selling off for profit? No, they're not trying. Market makers are usually not speculative for profit. They're usually neutralized. They're trying to maximize order flow and provide liquidity on both sides. So they're not really like, the only time they're going to do something outside of that is to accumulate supply if they need to. So example is if everybody's buying and the market maker has to be the seller of last resort, they need to have enough shares to be able to keep selling. So they're going to need to accumulate the shares somehow. And the way they force people to sell to them is either by dropping their bid, which triggers selling to trigger stops, and they can accumulate and people sell to them, or they can raise price and people naturally sell to them. And then they have the inventory. Or they can buy options. The options will guarantee the inventory, which a lot of times is what they do. They'll use 0-day options to accumulate inventory. They buy some calls. 0-day in the money calls guarantees you get order fill without having to move the price around, which is a lot of times what they do also. For real account, Kevin, AMP is what most of us use. Yeah. That's who most people use because they're the cheapest. Minimum deposit is only $100 with AMP. Yeah, they're trying to just keep the casino open, as Gabriel said. Moraz says, wait, what? DTF accounts, a 50K account grew by 20%. So a new loss limit of 3,500. You're a zero DTE options trader, dude? How'd that work out? I understand your question, Barab. If the account grew by 20%, so new loss limit goes up. Oh, I didn't know about that rule. Daily loss limit? Is that what it is? Hey, I'm not familiar with that rule. So can you tell me more about what the rule is? Because I'm not familiar with it. There's a little selling pressure in the close. Remember, volatility is still high and VIX is still a little elevated. Relative. Like volatility is not like super high in general, but VIX is VIX is in contango and we're above the it could very well sell off in the close. It wouldn't not be unusual with a flat VIX that is above the contango midpoint that has not decayed. Very peculiar as to the way this could finish out. No change in volatility, which is good for the market to not become crazily volatile. But however, volatility is elevated, which kind of shows that the market has anticipated volatility into this close for tomorrow as well. So tomorrow could be a mega phony day, higher highs and lower lows as the market kind of chops around in the close. We'll see. So not daily, your total. I still don't understand the rule. Well, can we with the so the max loss limit trails after 20% increase in your account? Can you cite the rule for me so I can know what the actual rule is? When you move or put that fib, what am I looking for? Oh, Leo. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. This is what I use to mark off my impact red lines or my illiquidity pivots. Basically what I'm doing is I'm drawing the red lines with it. It's just a ruler with a midpoint. Two things I use this green tool for. It's number one is to just see how far it's moved. I look at this and go 116, 279. Okay, so that's like 160, right? And I just know, okay, this is about 80 points lower. I'm just kind of gauging how far it has to move without having to like look over to the right side. It just gives me the distance. And this is just the middle of the range. And what I'm normally doing with this is I'm marking off like my impact line. And then if I go to the top is my, what we call the run length, right? Those two red lines we do, and also the yellow line that goes with it. So it says the bottom of the page. Well, I'm just saying this right now because I'm not going to Google it to look it up. If you guys can do me a favor and maybe help me look it up for me, I'd appreciate that. But the account grew by 20%, so the new loss limit of $3,500 takes effect, becomes the new maximum allowable loss, regardless of initial max drawn in amount. 35% of your profit. So your total loss limit gets bigger the more you make? This is what I don't understand about the rule. It's like you never get hit out. It's like you never get out of trailing drawdown. But isn't 35% bigger than 20%? So how is a bigger loss bad? Unless I'm reading that wrong. Can you guys teach me? I feel like I'm dumb right now. Levi, what is it? Is it so they're hitting you with a bigger loss limit? Wouldn't that be better? Like I said, I'm not reading what you guys. Oh, 35% of your profit. Oh, okay. But then once you make a whole lot of profit, isn't 35% of your profit really big? Like what if you made $100,000? Your loss limit is 35,000 trailing. Oh, you can't lose 7,000 trailing off the high balance. Is that what that means? Oh, that's your trailing. Oh, okay. And the maximum takes 20. Okay, so it's trailing off the top. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that's not fun. That's not the best rule. It's also a complicated rule to understand. Yeah, so like when it comes to prop firms and some of their rules, for me personally, I want the rule to be easy to understand. That's very important to me. You know what I'm saying? And if it takes a little bit for me to like interpret and understand what the rule is, it's kind of hard to understand. Like you said, the ETF rule is not as good as Tradeify. No, it's definitely not as good as the Tradeify ones. Yeah. While good, it's still, yeah. Tradeifys are still, you know, the top of the line, straight to funded for sure. For ETFs, the best program is their static. Their static is really where they shine. The directed funded is pretty good, but people tend to have more success, not success, sorry, like more happiness, I think, with Tradeifys. MOC in 4 minutes, baby. Baby. They've been moving people live after one payout. Live is cool though. Like live is where you want to be. I'm live with those guys. It's cool. It's a cool program. Live is fun. I mean, live has like fewer rules and stuff and better taxes and everything. Oh, all right, blast up in the close. What do you guys think? There's no selling pressure, no volatility, no nothing. 3 minutes, y'all. Beep, 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 beep. Watch this. Let's predict the close. Ready? Let's show how little I know about the market. Beep, 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 beep. Like, I'm totally wrong, but watch this happen. S&P finishes DDPN move to close out the day. Not gonna sell off, I don't think. Terrible bet to bet that it sells, I think. But what do I know? This crap's random. Like, my guess is just a guess. I have no insight into this. I'm just pulling numbers out of my butt. Okay, y'all want me to draw the other thing? Y'all want it to dump? Okay, hold on. If you want it to sell off, it won't sell off. But let's just for fun, let's draw. It's rare that it will sell off. It is rarer, but let's draw a fan blowing it down, okay? Y'all want it to sell off to get a better dip to buy tomorrow? Okay. This fan is attached to the ceiling. It looks more like a shower instead of a fan. It won't sell off, lol. As much as everybody wants it to sell off, this crap just usually like... Like, the crappiest part about days like this is that if you're shorting and you're on the wrong side of a short, the hardest thing in the world is to be on the wrong side of a short and just hope that it sells off all day and all day and all day and all day. And after 5 hours of just feeling upside down, the last thing it does is squeeze you the very last freaking minute. Here's MOC, we're off. Probably gonna dip and rip. Initial wave was some selling. Let's get my tick chart up so I can watch it. Tick chart, baby. Did the whoosh fan blow it down? Whoosh. Let's put the drawing back up there. See, Don't ever ask me to predict the market. I never gonna get it right. Whoosh. Whoosh. I think my pencil tool just froze up. Well, looks like I picked the right direction with the fan. I blew it down for you guys. There you go. Dip and rip. Yeah, let's see what we get. Market's definitely holding a bid here. I'm watching the tick chart. I like to watch the flow here. I think pretty solid. Watch the S&P here. It's consistently down, but it's not selling off, so it might pick a quick little kind of like green recovery candle on that, maybe. There's not a lot of activity to close out, which usually means bullish. Ruin everybody's Friday or Thursday. Volatile enough to see some swings. I wouldn't trust any kind of candle, but probably try to take a guess. There's not any selling pressure here. I'm not feeling any of it. And then 320. Closing by imbalance still. So somebody says, in regards to my platform, what is my win rate? And my win rate as of this year is currently 71%. Hold on, let me grab a picture of that for you. Oops. This is just from my Tradeifys. I just had that open right now. So I'm roughly about 71% for the year. What's that, 750 trades? And it's primarily due to having a really high trading entry efficiency. Ali, I only trade using Rocket Scooter stuff. That's it. I use Rocket Scooter's volume pivots and the probabilities of the backtest to go. That's really all I do. I long the high volume pivot, short the high volume pivot, use confluence. But entry efficiency means I only trade at the right place. I don't randomly trade at wrong spots. I trade where there's volume. I trade where there's volume. Can you see it? Dude, my computer is like locking up in chunks. What's going on here? I think Tradeify is crashing again. Sorry guys, I'm getting technical difficulties here. Boom, 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 boom. So for Dow, yeah, you can use DIA, which is really like, damn, that's moving quick. Look at that selling at the end of the day. Damn. You guys got the sell if you wanted. That was kind of out of left field. Nobody saw that coming. No whipsaw action there. So for DIA, essentially for liquidity map, you can use DIA or Dow Jones. And you can see that today, Dow Jones had upward pressure from monthly hedge area. So why is no other platform replicate which company has seems quite obvious that options price influence the indices? We can't find any competitors to you guys. Well, right. It's very mathematically sophisticated, and not that I'm tooting my own horn, but we are some of the most talented mathematical minds on Wall Street. As much as anybody can toot their own horn, I'd like to think that the problem is very complicated mathematically, and it's not easy for anybody else to do. There's a lot of people trying to sell options-based analysis tools, but to have an algorithm that can and the infrastructure to filter out the entirety of all the options flow was so complex that we're patenting the process that we're patenting one of the processes that we had to create just to be able to give you guys the data. It's that unique. There's not even a patent for it. So our server-side distribution mechanism is something we can patent for trading platforms. And the reason why there's not a lot of competitors is because it's very expensive to even create hedge pressure. It takes a whole army of server computers crunching raw options trade, raw options feed data all day long, every stock option and every expiration, the entirety of the S&P and NASDAQ. So the infrastructure alone is monumentally expensive. That's why there's not a lot of people that's done it. Good question though. So we have like a whole array of computers that grab options data and futures data and stock data and all this other data. And it's just like reading, it's a lot of data crunching, because if you think of the sheer amount of data that comes in an options ladder, it's huge, right? Every S&P, so SPY has options that expire at all strikes for many, many, many months out at all prices, put in calls and all the Greeks. I mean, it's mountains of data just for one expiration. And then you have every expiration, and then you have every stock with all of that stuff with it. It's something that you can't just like whip into TradingView and analyze 500 companies' options trades simultaneously all at once. Very, very, very expensive to just do this. And so we had to create a process to be able to do it. And then we had to create our own version of a platform to be able to display the data. And it's a good question, Ali, because most people are leaning down the direction of using options to find some kind of analysis tools in futures and stocks. However, most people haven't really succeeded at creating something that's important that I think for traders is some kind of actionable precision mechanism. For instance, trade here at this level or trade here at this level. Here's a win rate of this, or here's a probability of this. Most options analysis is usually very noisy because options data is noisy, and it takes a little bit of sophistication to filter out the noise in the options data and look at only things that you know can probabilistically give you high volume, right? As an example, what we use it for. Every single time we touch the screen line is 100% a high volume pivot, predictable, and it's never wrong. Well, that's kind of cool. Can I predict the direction of the stock market? I can't. I never will be able to. But I can tell you that there will be volume at this green line every time that we calculated yesterday, 24 hours ago. So therefore, there's volume at this level. Well, that's cool. So what can I do with the fact that I can show you there's volume somewhere? Well, it means if I did want to take a trade, I'm not arbitrarily shorting at the wrong spot. I basically attack the trade where volume will be, because I know traders will be there. Do I know who wins? Well, nobody does, right? But at least I'm trading from the right spot. And therefore, if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong small, because I'm trading where I should be trading from. And so in options analysis, the way that we can accomplish that is our filtration portion of the algorithm reads every single trade that comes through and analyzes it to see if what our algorithm determines, does it belong to a hedging loop is what we call it, or i.e. it's an option that's going to be hedged neutral, meaning that the option will provide order flow against it because market makers are hedging the neutral. Speculative options, nobody's hedging against, right? So we filter out just the options that matter, and then with that we can calculate high volume pivots. Today's example, monthly hedge pressure, monthly gamma exposure of just dealers is what the orange line is. And dealer exposure is exactly maximized here. There's high volume here, which is why we pivot off of that. It's just to answer your question, right? So we've had over 100,000 people come through Rocket Scooter over the years. Your last question is, in your view, how long do you think it take for most members to start seeing consistent profitability after using my platform? I don't like to give sales pitches on what other people do because I feel like it's kind of immoral and not ethical to promise people performance gains as a decision for your purchasing, right? Not really an ethical question to ask me, but I'll invite anybody in the chat to answer Ali's question. People that are answering, if you don't mind, if you personally want to share, don't want to share, Ali's got a question about maybe some of you guys that have used the platform. Have you experienced any success or whatever with it? Trust me when I say I answering that trading success is a person-to-person basis, and nobody else's performance would guarantee yours because trading's such a personal thing. But I would ask the people in chat about like if they become profitable or what they feel about it. But it's, again, like, you know, don't ever let somebody sitting in the front of the camera sell you something. Let other people tell you what they think. Don't ask the mods, they get paid for each answer. LOL, they actually don't. The only mod that gets paid is iDoc, and she gets paid against my will. She takes it from me. Yeah. And people will tell you in general, it's not too good to be true. Our method's very simplistic, actually. It's not really that complicated. The effectiveness comes from your application of trading, application of what you learn in trading. When people find it effective is that you're not really guessing as much, but it's not like this isn't a holy grail to trading. You still got to do a lot of the work yourself. While the tools are very good at what they do, you still have to make good trading decisions. The art form of being a successful trader is like having the right position size, betting correctly, having confluence on the bet you're making. And that's really the art form you master. The tools only get you so far, right? Yeah. It's just watching, somebody said watching Matter on YouTube from where he's gone from 50 to 70% based on the knowledge he shares when it comes to entry point sizing, letting the market dictate your profits. Oh, that's really cool, helpful. Very cool. A lot less stressful. This is what I like, Life with 12 Dogs. Even Life with 12 Dogs, his name tells me you're just a chill person that likes to just chill with your 12 dogs. You don't want a lot of stress. I think the reason why people say, and this is what the one thing everyone does say, is that after going through our program, trading is mentally less taxing because it takes out a lot of the guesswork. You're more of like a sniper. You're waiting and you know what to wait for, rather than you're just constantly engaged in the market, which can like wear you down physically and mentally, right? A lot less stressful is the common feedback I get. People are like, I'm enjoying trading much better. And while to give you the answer that I have is people have left reviews, and I'll just lead you to the reviews. And again, like I said, I'm not the kind of person that, like, you know, I'm modest about this. Even though I tell you guys, I'm smart as shit all the time. I'm really not modest about this because I really want you to make a wise decision for yourself. Don't let me sell you anything. Go to the reviews on the website, and everybody that's left a review here has bought it. So these are the people that have bought whatever and they've left reviews. And there's a mile-long list of customer reviews. I recommend you go read that. There are some inspiring stories in there. Okay. We'll see you guys later. I gotta go.
Market spinning in chaotic haze. Rocket scooter blast through the maze. Volume prediction shows the way. Leave the doubt and the fray. Liquidity